How has your Japanese improved over the last 6 months since we last caught up? And what have you found that's helped you the most? What's been your biggest challenge living in Fukuoka and how did you deal with it? What's one experience in Fukuoka that you'll always remember? And a follow-up question for you, Charlotte. Would you say that you are now more or less like otaku?
Oh my gosh, Christian.
6 months ago, I interviewed 5 Japanese language students who just made the leap to move here to Fukuoka, Japan. They shared their excitement, challenges, and advice for anyone looking to do the same thing as them. So today, it's time to check back in with them.
Ohayo!
If you haven't seen the original video, no worries champion, I'll link it above. But hey, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. If this is your first time watching and you do enjoy this, consider subscribing below and let me know where you're watching from. Drop a comment because I am replying to everyone.
Wow.
And if you have been here before, come on guys, it's been a minute, but you know what I'm gonna say? Welcome back, legends, and it's been absolutely amazing chatting with you all in the comments below, but also in the Discord that I started up recently. And if you haven't joined yet, it is free to join. Links down in the description below. But hey guys, I say, let's get into today's video. Okay mate, can you introduce yourself, where you're from and what you're doing here?
Yes, hello to everyone. My name is Bernardo. I come from Germany and I am a Japanese student in Fukuoka.
My name is Zach. I'm from Georgia, USA, and I'm a Japanese language student here at Genki Jacks.
I'm Tyler. I'm from America. I'm here in Fukuoka studying Japanese.
I'm Charlotte. I'm also from America, and I'm also studying Japanese at a language school.
I'm Matt. I am from the US and I just recently graduated from language school. So.
Mate, congratulations.
Thank you.
How has your Japanese improved over the last 6 months since we last caught up? And what have you found that's helped you the most?
It has improved a lot. I'm able to understand way more and speak more. And what has helped me a lot is basically just work. I think there's no shortcut. There's no like special textbook or video you can watch. It's actually just sit down and learn.
Putting in a lot of study, essentially.
A lot of hours. Just like imagine there's a pile of hours you gotta study to become good.
Yeah.
Just start working off that hours.
The one thing I'm not good at.
Compared to previously, I think I've improved a little bit, but when you're first starting language, it tends to be, you have a dynamic growth. So it's a lot bigger and you feel the difference of like how much you spoke before and how much you've improved after. Right now, I think specifically in business type Japanese
more
and
formal.
like more formal Japanese, I think I've definitely have some sort of improvement.
Well, I'd say I've struggled a little bit at the beginning. I was in a different class at the beginning and I realized that my class was advancing a little faster than I was. So I felt like it was necessary for me to go back about 10 chapters in the book to rehash a lot of the material.
Revise.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just wasn't catching on with everything super fast and very efficiently. So I went back, I self-imposed this on myself.
Yep.
And I was a little nervous at first. I was like, man, maybe I'm pathetic. I'm not good enough to learn this language, you know, because it's very, very difficult language. But I'm really glad I did it because now I feel like I'm actually learning the stuff that I kind of breezed over and wasn't able to lock in whenever I went through it over the first time.
That's good, man. It's like you're guiding your own journey by kind of going back, and it's a bit of a confidence game too because you judge yourself on how fast everyone else in the class is learning. But to be able to say, okay, I'm not learning that quick. Do you mind if I go back? That's man, praise to you, man. That's a hard thing to do in front of like other people, I guess, you know, but you know your own journey and you're trying to get as much out of this as you can. So well done.
I'm really glad I did it. I'm feeling a lot more confident now and I'm able to pick up on a lot of the stuff that I missed the first time.
I think it's different for everyone. I learn more through like talking to other people. It's mainly speaking for me. I'm really bad at reading. She's a lot better at reading and writing than I am.
And yourself, Charlotte?
Yeah, I think my Japanese has definitely improved. I can at least hold a conversation now. But there's still a lot of work to do, and I do like to focus on the reading, and so doing things like just being aware of the kanji that's surrounding me in my day-to-day life has been really helpful and kind of picking up on things.
What's been your biggest challenge living in Fukuoka and how did you deal with it?
For me, I think it's just getting a lot of stuff done, especially like on the administrative side. When you get
Paperwork.
paperwork, exactly. For me, it's definitely having to do the paperwork with the limited amount of Japanese and like limited amount of knowledge I know about going through that whole system. What would have helped so much is if I actually did more research on this, or at least had like a Japanese friend or someone who can help me kind of go through this system more like effortlessly, you know?
So the biggest challenge has been loneliness. So I think maybe a topic not many people talk about, because social media is always like, oh, Japan is wonderful and everything.
Yeah.
But when you actually live here, for me especially, to answer your question how I dealt with it, I had to learn that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, right?
That's so true.
Yeah, and I went through a process of, hey, I can be myself and still be happy. It's not like I don't have any friends. I have a lot of people I meet, but it's not that deep connections you have when you live in a place for years, you know?
So true, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to learn that, and yeah, that was a challenge.
Has your thoughts about Japan or Fukuoka changed since you arrived here?
Yeah, I feel like before I came here, you see online that everyone says that Japan is such a strict society and that everyone follows these unspoken rules and almost like it's like a hive mind or something.
Yeah.
But that's just not accurate. I feel like when it comes down to it, as long as you follow basic human courtesy, like, there's just really no problems. Like
I tend to find that it's very much a society that is respectful to others around them. And I think maybe perhaps in our cultures, that isn't as strict, maybe. So that's where you kind of get that mindset here where people really follow a mass society, follow these rules. And it's kind of weird for us to see, but we kind of adapt the longer that you do stay here, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's still the same.
Still the same, still loving it?
Yeah, it's still my favorite like city in the entirety of Japan. Kyushu is still my favorite area compared to Tokyo, Osaka, anywhere else in Japan. This is the place to live for me.
Fukuoka's the spot. What's one experience in Fukuoka that you'll always remember?
Oh, well, recently I have a couple friends that I've been meeting with, and we've been going to a board game and card game cafe. And I have got to tell you, I've never seen more board games and card games in one place than this cafe. And it has been an absolute blast. Like just hanging out with some friends, having some snacks, having a few drinks.
Making some memories.
Making memories.
With
Beating
board games.
people at board games and card games, that's my specialty. That's something that I have a deep passion for. So I love playing games, love gaming, and I love competition. Yeah.
Love that, man. That's good. That's a very kind of, I guess, a bit of a different thing that you could do here, possibly, actually, to come here and play some board games rather than just going to a bar or a club. He actually took me there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm telling you, it was actually a blast. So if you are going to come here, check out the board game cafes. It's not bad.
They're awesome.
Interesting experience I literally had yesterday, and I can still feel it in my bones, because yesterday I was invited to do sumo with a friend from Canada who is in an amateur club here.
What? Doing sumo?
Yeah, doing sumo. So like he brought me, and I was able to take part in it, like train and fight against those big people. I've never done any like fighting sport in my life. I got beat up really bad. It was very fun, very interesting. Everything hurts, but I recommend try sumo if you can.
That sounds like an absolute power sport, and I could not imagine this frame getting anywhere near a sumo wrestler.
You'd be broken too.
100%. How do you find balance studying Japanese and enjoying life in Japan? Do you have any tips?
Okay, so me, fresh graduate, I have more time actually. And between this time, I think it's just going out there. Literally talking to as many people as Japanese people as possible, and there's a term here. It's called nomication.
Okay.
Well, yeah, literally, you go to the name nomication comes from the word nomu, which means to drink. So literally, you go to a bar. Yeah,
you drink to educate.
Exactly. You drink at a bar, and then people have a little liquid courage, and then you get more conversations in there, and actually, your Japanese skyrockets.
Particularly, I think here in Fukuoka, if you're going to, it's called yatai, and it's basically little sitting areas where you can go out and get food and have some drinks. I found that personally probably the best experience for one, because it's really a great Japanese experience, but all the locals there are a little bit tipsy, but love having a chat and a yarn to the people that's surrounding you there, right?
I agree. You'll get more people, actually, Japanese people interacting with you first, which is kind of rare.
Boo speaks.
As far as studying and still enjoying your life, when you're studying here, those are very much intertwined, I feel like, because you can go have a drink at an izakaya with locals and you're having fun, but you're also practicing that like speaking ability.
I mean, I guess if you count going drinking with Japanese people, that is my studying, but that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, I think as well at the same time, kind of similar to myself, but
Mhm.
I found since leaving Japanese language school that actually being out and immersing myself
Mhm.
in the cultures or at bars or having a drink
Mhm.
with people or just in general, I actually learn a lot faster and a lot
Mhm.
kind of deeper, understanding the language a lot more through that
Mhm.
method, which is actually helping me with my studies at home.
Mhm.
How has managing your money been? Has it been more or less expensive than you expected?
For me, I'm pretty lucky because I'm a freelance video editor and I can work here while many people can't work here. I have to focus on study only, and I can do this like on the side. But doesn't mean it's super easy. So you always gotta like I do like my tip is like at the end of the month, just like count your numbers and check your finance and yeah, try to just stick to a plan.
Oh, this is like a double-edged sword. So since
It's easy
I-
to spend.
it's very easy to spend, especially if you have other denominations like US dollars or euros. If you come here, those are very strong compared to the yen. The yen is kind of weak right now, so your dollar or euro will go a lot further here. But that could also kind of hurt you because you realize like, oh, it's not as expensive to go out and do things here.
Cut
But
loose.
yeah, cut loose a little more or splurge a little more or whatever. But you realize how fast you could burn through your money if you're not budgeting correctly. But, you know, the yen is pretty weak right now, so it's beneficial for foreigners to come.
It's a good time.
Good times, for sure.
What advice would you give to yourself 6 months ago, or a little bit longer because you have been here a little bit longer, about moving to Japan?
I still stick with my previous advice. Have a plan, doesn't have to be concrete, or have an idea of what you want to do here before you go here. I think it's fun to come here if you're on vacation mode, if you're here for a working holiday, you do your year, that's
Yeah.
fun and all, but if you plan to stay here long term, especially if you want to work here, continue studying, you gotta,
Have further goals.
exactly.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think be more clear on those goals. As in like, okay, I need to do all these research and look at these companies and applying and stuff. And because a lot of things here take time, especially the processes are a lot slower, and Japan's not as, I would say, as technologically advanced as Japan is.
Yeah.
It's not so innovative when it comes to like getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take their time pretty much here. So.
Definitely just don't be afraid of going out. And once you're at least kind of comfortable, actually, no, you still need to be uncomfortable. Just once you're here, just go out, talk to people. People want to talk to you. Especially in my experience, Japanese people want to talk to everyone because it's such a closed off society. I feel like,
Yeah.
and Fukuoka is a lot more opened up about like wanting to converse with other people.
Cool. And yourself, Charlotte?
Yeah, kind of similar. Like when I first got here, basically every day there was any number of really like painful, awkward interactions because my speaking ability was basically zero. And so I would just tell myself, no, that there's going to be some rough interactions, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's all right. Just accept that it's going to happen. It's the process of
It's all parts of the process.
all part of the process. Yeah.
What are your plans after you finish school here, and has Fukuoka shaped those plans at all?
I'm hoping to stay here for a little longer term, but I don't really have a solid plan yet because the plan right now is to learn the language as best I can
Yeah.
and then be able to find a way to inject myself into the workforce here.
What are your plans now that you have finished school, and has Fukuoka shaped those plans at all?
So right now I'm in the middle of job hunting season.
Oh,
It's my job hunting season right now. So that's Shushoku Katsudo, which is short for Shukatsu, which means job hunting. And here, basically, I'm spending all the time going through job fairs and doing a lot of applications and interviews, trying to secure a job here, actually, now that I've graduated.
how's that going?
It's going. Yeah, it's definitely a whole new, it's a different, culturally, it's way different from like job hunting back in the US. It's a lot more structured, I
Oh.
feel, yeah. And then as for Fukuoka, I feel like at least I would like to stay here for a year.
Awesome, man. Best of luck with that.
Thank you.
And finally, and once again, would you mind introducing yourself in Japanese to the people watching?
はい。はじめまして、ベルナルドです。32歳です。ドイツから来ます。趣味は、ビデオと写真を撮るのが大好き。そして、ちょっと待って、日本に聞きたかったら、質問をぜひやってみてください。ありがとうございます。
めっちゃいいね。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you, mate. Appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate it,
And finally, my friend, for the people watching, would you mind introducing yourself in Japanese once again?
Absolutely. Watashi wa Zaku desu. America kara kimashita. Watashi wa 32 歳です. Ima wa Nihongo gakusei desu.
Awesome, man. Well done, champion. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And finally, guys, once again, surprise on ya. Would you mind introducing yourself in Japanese for the people watching?
俺は平です。アメリカから来た。最近、飲みすぎるけど、ちょっと、that's what I'm doing.
ありがとうございました。And Shah.
こんにちは、シャルトです。私もアメリカから来ました。今、私の趣味は日本の料理を作ることです。
Nice. ありがとうございました。You guys have definitely improved.
But let's not show this to my teachers.
And finally, once again, would you mind introducing yourself in Japanese for the people watching?
はい、こんにちは。またちょっと改めてまたです。まあちょっとその1年間の時間でもう福岡の生活も慣れてきてもう楽しいと思いますね。まあぜひ日本に興味があったら来てください。
Mate, I'm going to need some help translating that later because your Japanese is much better than mine, but arigatou gozaimashita. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you, brother. Cheers. All right, guys. What do you guys think? I just want to say a huge thank you to Bernardo, Zach, Tyler, Charlotte, and Matt for lending their time today and giving us a little bit of an update since the last 6-month video. But I'll hand it back to you. If you were to move to Japan, what would be the biggest question or challenge you would want answered before moving here? Let me know in the comments below. But guys, until next time, ja mata! And I'll see you on the next one.